Hi, I'm Leon Lovelace, and this is Unstoppable Force. Okay, I want to talk to you about the election that happened last night, and just let's go over why I was wrong and just kind of what happened in general. So I already went over the poll numbers yesterday, or yeah, yesterday about how I thought what was going to happen based on the poll numbers, and that didn't happen. So it wasn't too big a surprise that Trump he won Florida, North Carolina, because it was just pretty much tied neck and neck. So it wasn't a big surprise, but it was still interesting to see that even though it's pretty much tied and the polls were leaning towards Clinton, that he won Florida and North Carolina. So it's like, okay, he had a shot. So then what happened was he was able to flip Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, which I said the key was for him to flip Pennsylvania and win North Carolina, Florida, and he could win it. And that's what he did. So he was able to win it. And for me, I thought that Hillary had to win Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Nevada. And she lost Pennsylvania. That flipped towards him. She's going to lose Michigan. It's not officially finalized that Michigan goes for Trump, but she's going to lose. She lost Michigan. And she did win Nevada, but Pennsylvania, Michigan were the two keys she had to win this presidency. She lost those, so that's why she lost. So after looking at what happened and watching some of the news coverage, one of the things that's very important to know is that when a establishment candidate is going against a populist, a lot of times the establishment candidate can't beat the polls because they're just going to get the people that are likely to vote, because a lot of times the polls are about likely voters, not unlikely voters or first-time voters. So it's hard to poll a first-time voter or, rely on them to put them in polls when they may not show up to vote. So I think a lot of what happened was that a lot of unlikely voters, first-time voters, they were definitely not inspired to vote for Hillary because she's a shitty candidate. All she wanted to do is talk about how Trump's terrible and you need to vote for her because Trump's terrible. Because what she did was she just ran the Romney playbook from 2012. Is that, you don't like that guy, so you should vote for me. And Romney lost because of that. Hillary lost because of that. It's not a good strategy to say, vote for me because you don't like that person. It's a shitty strategy. You can't motivate independents to vote for you just because you're saying that guy's worse or that woman's worse. Vote for me. Trump didn't just say that. He said, I'm working for you because the establishment, all the moneyed interests, they're taking your jobs away, and I'm going to get them back. I want to make America great again. I'm going to make sure we don't have any of these trade deals come through. I'm going to reject TPP. I didn't like NAFTA. She was for NAFTA. Bill Clinton, he was for NAFTA. And they're the ones that ruined your jobs and the income you're making and a lot of the comforts that you had. So he ran on that. So he was able to actually motivate some people that didn't vote before or didn't vote that often to say, hey, I want to make America great again, so I'm going to come and vote for him. And that's why even though the polls were showing that it was pretty much tied in Florida and North Carolina, that he won by 4 points in North Carolina. Because people said, you know what? I don't want Clinton because everybody already knows she's just for the same old, and everybody wants change right now. So they said in North Carolina, I want change. I'm going for Trump. They did that in Pennsylvania. They did it a lot. They did it even more in Pennsylvania because she was up by 3, 4, or 5 points. Some of the latest polls. The last poll did show him up by 1, but he didn't end up flipping it in Pennsylvania. I think it was likely because a lot of undecided people, a lot of undecided and not likely people to vote. They came and said, I want to make America great again. because Hillary is not going to do what I needed to do, which is to say, I'm not for the TPP. I'm not for sending your job overseas. I'm going to make sure you keep your jobs that you want. I'm going to make sure you make the income that you used to make, that your parents used to make. Make sure you're secure. You and your family are financially secure. Trump doesn't say it like that, but people understand that I'm going to get your jobs back. He's talking about the good jobs, all these factory jobs that people want, that people used to have in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, some other states in the Midwest. And they also know that Hillary and Bill are for the trade deals because they're liars. They've talked about how they're for. She's definitely said she was for the TPP. It's the gold standard. And he cracked her on that. Said, you said it was a gold standard of trade deals. So we all know that Hillary is definitely for the trade deals. She would have pushed for it if Obama didn't push for it and get it passed through the if he didn't get it passed through the lame duck session. So a lot of people, especially in the Midwest, were definitely not. If they're undecided or unlikely to vote, they were definitely not going to vote for Hillary Clinton. So it seemed like maybe it was just a bunch of just hardcore Hillary voters or hardcore Democrats, and maybe some independents that said, you know what, I can't vote for. Oh, and then of course some of the other problems that she has is that she's been in scandals earlier before because she's been fighting against the Republicans for years and years. She's corrupt, so they've been able to, to find reasons to say, oh man, we hate Hillary, you can't vote for her, we got to get her out because of this scandal and that scandal. And something like the Bill Clinton scandal, those had very little to do with Hillary Clinton. So that was kind of a bullshit reason for people to say that they didn't want to vote for Hillary because of that. But still, people didn't like Hillary Clinton. So any reason that Trump or the media found something to say, you know what, Hillary is corrupt, I don't like her, she's going to do shit that I don't like, people say, I'm not going to vote for her. But the James Comey investigation, him sending the letter, talk about how he had to check more emails. And those, of course, there was nothing in that at all. But it gave people another reason to say, I don't want to vote for Hillary Clinton. I don't want an established candidate. Another way that she's not a good candidate is because whenever she talks, she just talks like a damn robot. And people don't want someone that just talks like a robot and just has nothing personal to say about how they want to help them. She could not, that's one reason why she couldn't get people to vote for her, is because she just sounds like a damn robot and nobody wants to hear her talk about stuff like that. Or no one wants to hear her talk like a robot when they know that she's for the corporations, she's for herself, she's for the money and interest, and all the other corporate donors that donated money to her. So again, just Trump, actually being a populist and trying to campaign or running because he wanted to help the people of the United States out, versus Hillary just wanted to pull the Romney playbook and say, vote for me because you don't like him. That's the reason why Donald Trump was able to win the presidency. All right, thanks for watching.